Yin yoga is all about strengthening and lengthening the deeper connective tissue within the body and within the joints. So we're going to be using some props to support us in the poses, and we're also going to be holding these poses a little bit longer than you would in a typical hatha yoga practice. And tonight we're going to also be focusing on the energy of Scorpio. Scorpio rules the hips and the pelvis, which is the seat of our creativity. So we're going to be really working on opening up these areas in the body and releasing any stagnant energy that's in the hips and the pelvis, which is also known to hold a lot of our emotions that we're suppressing. So if you have an emotional release during the sequence, know that that is totally beautiful and perfect. Another thing to keep in mind while practicing yin yoga is that we're not using 100% muscle engagement. We're using 60 to 80% muscle engagement. So a good tip is to just go to the point when you start to feel a sensation and you start to feel a stretch, and then try and hold there for the remainder of the shape. And focus on how the shape feels rather than how you think this shape is supposed to look or how it looks on me, because it's going to look different on everybody. So really listen to the body, listen to the breath. If you need to come out of a shape at any time, know that that's totally okay. These are going to be really deep hip openers. So if you need to come out before I say the time is up to come out, that's totally fine. And just have fun with it, and happy full moon. So if you want to begin in a comfortable seated position, eyes gently closed. Start to center in for your practice and notice how you feel before you start moving your body. Relax the jaw, relax the shoulders away from the ears, and root the sit bones down into the earth. Now lengthen through the spine and the back of the neck as the crown of the head reaches to the sky. Deepen the breath. Plant the palms of the hands down onto the knees and slowly start to circle the chest towards the knees. Moving with the breath, warming up the body, moving as fast or as slow as you want to. Start to circle the other way. Slowly bring yourself back to seated, spine long. Flutter the eyes open. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, start to twist over to the right side. Bring the left hand onto the right knee, right hand behind you. Lengthen the spine and draw the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, the arms rise. Look up to the hands. Exhale, twist to the left. Sit bones rooted down. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, twist to the right. Take a few deep breaths here. Maybe deepen the twist a little bit more on your exhale. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, final twist to the left. Breathe here, core engaged. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands meet at heart center. Now come onto all fours. Finding tabletop, the hands are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips, tops of the feet planted onto the mat. On your inhale, reach the chest forward and gaze up for cow pose. Allow the belly to soften. Exhale, push the mat away, arch the spine, and draw the chin into the chest. Cat pose. Inhale, cow pose, belly softens. Exhale, cat pose. Hands push the mat away. Now find your own rhythm here. Warming up the spine. On your next inhale, come back into tabletop. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, and send the hips back for downward facing dog. You can bend the knees as much as you need to, maybe even bend one knee and then the other, walking the dog out. Hands push the mat away, spine and neck long. Inhale, look up to the hands, lift the heels, and walk the feet to the top of the mat. Find a forward fold. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Relax the head, relax the neck. On your next inhale, slowly roll up, coming to standing at the top of the mat. Step the feet hip-width distance, palms facing forward, mountain pose, Tadasana. Core engaged, feet rooted down. Inhale, the arms rise. Look up to the hands. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. The hands can come up onto the shins, neck and spine long. Exhale, fold forward. Plant the hands underneath the shoulders. Step the right foot back. Lower the right knee onto the mat. Untuck the toes. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky for a low lunge. Core engaged. Exhale, bring the hands back down underneath the shoulders. Tuck the right toes, lift the knee, step the left foot back, and find plank pose. Shoulders and hips in one line. Lower the knees, untuck the toes, lower down to the belly. Elbows tucked into the ribs. Inhale, chest up, gaze up, cobra pose. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, rise to all fours, tuck the toes, lift the knees, send the hips back, downward dog. Fingers spread wide, press into the index fingers and the thumbs. Inhale, extend the right foot up to the sky. Exhale, plant the right foot between the hands at the top of the mat. Now lower the left knee down to the mat, untuck the toes, and inhale, reach the arms up to the sky for low lunge. Hips sink down, shoulders melt down the back. Exhale, bring the hands back down under the shoulders. Tuck the left toes, lift the knee, and step the left foot to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, slowly roll up. The arms come up overhead. Exhale, hands meet at heart center. Now we'll flow through that sequence one more time on the left side. Inhale, the arms rise. Exhale, hinge the hips, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Gaze down the tip of the nose. Exhale, fold forward. Plant the hands under the shoulders. Step the left foot back this time. Lower the left knee down to the mat. Untuck the toes. Inhale, the arms rise. Low lunge. Core strong. Jaw relaxed. Exhale, bring the hands back down under the shoulders. Tuck the left toes, lift the knee, step the right foot back, plank pose. Lower the knees, untuck the toes, lower down to the belly. Inhale, cobra pose, chest up, gaze up. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, rise to all fours, tuck the toes, lift the knees, find downward dog. Tailbone reaches to the sky as the heels reach to the earth. Engage the core. Inhale, the left foot reaches to the sky. Exhale, plant the left foot between the hands at the top of the mat. Now lower the right knee down to the earth. Untuck the toes. Inhale, the arms rise for low lunge. On your exhale, bring the hands back down onto the shoulders. Tuck the right toes, lift the knee, step the right foot to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Head hangs heavy, neck relaxed. Inhale, slowly roll up. The arms come up overhead. Exhale, hands meet at heart center. Now we're going to move into the yin sequence. So if you want to grab a blanket, you might want one handy for these poses. If you have a block, that might be nice also. If you don't have a block, you can use a stack of books, like 5 or 6 inches high, just to bring the earth closer to you. And these are the only props you're going to be needing. So once you have your blanket, you can fold it so you can roll it up into a thick burrito. Something like this. And then we're just going to bring it onto the mat, place it in the middle of the mat. And then we're going to step onto the blanket, bringing the heels up onto the blanket and the toes on the mat. The toes are pointing out and the heels are in. We're like hip width distance here. And then from here, we're just going to start to bend the knees, drawing the hips down towards the blanket, coming into a yin malasana, or yogi squat. The hands can stay at heart center, or you can bring the hands out in front of you and relax the head. Relax the jaw, relax the shoulders. Breathe here. Malasana is opening the hips, releasing the entire back body. In yin yoga, we hold poses a little bit longer, so we'll be here for a few minutes. If your mind starts to wander, you can always just bring your focus back to the breath, back to the sensation of the pose. Start to plant the hands down into the earth and lift the hips. Remove the heels from the blanket. Heel toe the feet so they're a little bit wider, coming into a forward fold. Just dangling here. You can even rock from side to side if that feels good. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Feel the release in the hamstrings, the glutes. slowly on your next inhale, roll up, coming back to standing. Now we're going to bring the feet back onto the blanket, coming into Malasana for the second time. Toes out, heels in, core engaged. Exhale, start to bend the knees, drawing the tailbone down towards the blanket. Second round of our yogi squat. You can bring the hands out in front of you. Relax the head, maybe close the eyes if that feels natural. Breathing here. Soften into the pose. Focus on how this shape feels rather than how it looks. Start to bring the palms down onto the earth, lift the hips, push down and find your way into forward fold. Feet coming off the blanket, head hangs heavy. Breathe here. Inhale, slowly roll up. Coming back to standing. Now we'll heel toe the feet in, taking our final round of yogi squat. You can use the blanket or you can remove the blanket if you're feeling extra open in your hips today. Feet hip width distance, toes out, heels in, hands at heart center, and slowly start to bend the knees, drawing the tailbone as far down as you can today. You can press the elbows into the knees, allowing the knees to open more. Tailbone reaches to the earth. Deep breaths. Feel the opening in the hips. Opening in the pelvis. The seat of our creativity. Start to bring the hands back down onto the earth. Lift the hips up to the sky and find your way back into forward fold. Final few breaths here. Maybe folding a bit deeper than you did the first 2 times. Lengthening through the spine, drawing the chest towards the thighs. Engage the core slightly and inhale, slowly roll up. Now we'll heel toe the feet. So the feet are together. We'll come to standing at the top of the mat. Inhale, the arms rise. Exhale, hinge the hips, fold forward. And plant the left hand underneath the face onto the mat, and inhale, send the right hand up to the sky. Bend the left knee, straighten the right leg. Exhale, bring the right hand down. Replace the left hand with the right, and inhale, bring the left hand up to the sky. Bend the right knee, straighten the left leg, core strong. Exhale, bring the left hand down. Plant the hands under the shoulders and step the feet back into downward facing dog. You can rock the knees from side to side, walking the feet out, maybe shaking the hips out, taking a little transitional movement here. On your next inhale, extend the right foot up to the sky. Exhale, bring the right knee into the right wrist. Lower the shin down to the mat. Lower the left knee, untuck the toes. Sink the hips back and down, coming into our pigeon pose. Ekapada, Rajakapotasana. You can take your block here, underneath the right hip, if that's available to you. You need some extra support underneath the hip. Or if you have your folded up blanket, you can use that. So once you find a comfortable position with the hips and the legs, you can slowly start to draw the chest down towards the right thigh. Rest the forehead wherever is comfortable, maybe taking a block underneath the forehead or a stack of books. Or you can rest the forehead on the mat or the forearms. Feel the opening in the hip here. Feel a deeper release with every exhale. Jaw relaxed. Shoulders relaxed. On your next inhale, slowly start to bring the hands back up underneath the shoulders. Remove any props from underneath you. Tuck the left toes, lift the knee, and send the right foot up to the sky for a three-legged dog. You can shake the right leg out here. Maybe draw some hip circles. Bring the right foot back down onto the earth. And inhale, extend the left foot to the sky this time. Exhale, bring the left foot into the left wrist. Lower the shin down to the mat. Lower the right knee. Untuck the toes. Finding pigeon pose on the left side. Taking the block or the blanket underneath the left hip this time. On your exhale, you can slowly start to draw the chest towards the left thigh. Forehead rests wherever is comfortable, maybe onto a block or the mat. Belly relaxed. Soften the breath. Feel the opening in the left hip this time. Maybe note the differences between the left and the right side. Don't form any opinions or judgments about the differences, but we're just acknowledging them, sending love to the whole body. Slowly start to bring the hands back up under the shoulders. Tuck the right toes. Remove any blocks from underneath you, any props. Bring the hands under the shoulders. Tuck the right toes. Lift the knee and step the left foot back. Send the left foot to the sky for three-legged dog. You can shake the left leg out this time, maybe drawing hip circles. Bring the left foot back down onto the earth. Inhale, come into plank pose. Lower the knees, untuck the toes. Bring the toes together, widen the knees, and send the hips back for child's pose. Forehead relaxed onto the earth. Relax the belly. Reconnect with the breath. Reconnect with your intention. On your next inhale, slowly lift back up into tabletop. Bring the knees back in underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders. Engage the core and flow through a few cat-cow movements, releasing any stagnant energy in the spine. On your next inhale, come back into tabletop. Now we're going to cross the ankles over each other, sit back onto the feet, and then extend the legs out in front of you. And then make your way into the center of the mat and slowly roll all the way onto the back. Keep the knees bent and the feet planted onto the floor. Slowly allow the left leg to straighten all the way down onto the mat. Now bring the right knee into the chest and give yourself a big squeeze. On your exhale, slowly bring the knee over to the left side of the body, coming into a spinal twist here. The arms can open out to the sides like a T. Shoulder blades pressed firmly into the earth. Gaze directly overhead, or you can take the gaze over the right shoulder, deepening the twist. Take a few more deep breaths here, releasing any tension in the spine. Inhale, slowly bring yourself back to center. Release the right leg down to the earth and bring the left knee into the chest this time. Give yourself a big squeeze on this side. Oh, I just popped my hip. And on your exhale, slowly release the left knee over to the right side of the body. Gaze directly overhead or over the left shoulder, deepening the twist. Relax the jaw. Relax the shoulders down into the earth. On your next inhale, engage the core slightly. Inhale. Bring the knee back to center. On your next inhale, engage the core slightly and bring the knee back to center. Bring the right knee in to meet the left, tucking yourself into a little ball here. Maybe rock from side to side, massaging the spine, the lower back, on the mat. Maybe draw some little circles with the knees. Come back to center. And then take hold of anywhere on the feet that's comfortable. Maybe taking the big toe with the peace sign fingers, or you can grab the outsides of the feet with the hands, wherever's comfortable. And on your next inhale, extend the feet up to the sky as if you were trying to walk on the ceiling. Lengthen the back of the neck. Draw the shoulders down towards the earth. Knees bent for happy baby. You can rock from side to side here. And from here, we're going to make our way into our final resting pose. Slowly coming back to center, release the legs, release the arms down to the mat. Allow yourself to wiggle around, shift around on the mat. Allow yourself to ground down deeper into the earth. Allow the mind and the body to relax completely. Feeling the opening and the release in the hips and the pelvis. The seat of our creativity. The space that Scorpio rules. Feeling a release here allows us to release any lower frequencies that Scorpio offers. Worry, fear, Allow yourself to feel those fears until they become a source of power for you. Know that your fears and your worries don't have control over you because you already have control over them. Feel the entire body relaxed on the earth. Relax the jaw. Release the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. The fingers naturally curl in towards the palms. Relax the belly, the breath. Soften the hips and the tailbone. The lower body sinks down into the floor. Legs relaxed. Feet and toes relaxed. Sink into stillness. Allow your body to fully surrender to the energy of Scorpio. Allow yourself to fully surrender to the energy of Scorpio. And take in everything she has to offer us. Slowly begin to bring awareness back into the body. Notice the sounds around you, the earth beneath you. Start to bring the breath back to a natural rhythm. Start to wiggle the toes and fingers, gently warming, gently waking the body back up after a practice. You can draw wrist circles and ankle circles. On your next inhale, reach the arms overhead like it's the very first stretch of the day. Exhale, roll over to the right or the left side. Bring the bicep under the head as a pillow. On your inhale, slowly press into the hands and find your way back into a comfortable seated position. Eyes gently closed. Bring the hands to heart center. Take a moment to thank your mind and thank your body for allowing you to practice on this full moon. The light in me honors the light within you. Namaste.